This is Akashvani. In the program Money Talk, now we bring you a discussion on increasing global acceptance of rupee through UPI and trade in domestic currency. The participants are Dr. Ranjeet Mehta, economic analyst, and Lalima Aneja Dang, anchor.
Today, India has become world's fifth largest economy in the world, surpassing the United Kingdom. And it's not just about that. Our rupee is now finding global footprint. We can call it internationalization of the Indian rupee. On July the 12th, 2022, RBI announced a mechanism to settle payments for international trade in rupee, especially for India's exports. Dr. Mehta, India has indeed shown a lot of resilience in the face of major headwinds like the pandemic and then the geopolitical situations. Do you think that it's fully justified to say that the rupee has the potential to become an internationalized currency?
In fact, as you know, it is rightly cited by you that despite the global headwinds and coming out of one of the biggest crises in human history, that was pandemic, the way India has really brought itself out of these crises and set an example for the world to follow. I think that this shows the resilience of the Indian economy and also the mechanism, the processes, the systems, the political stability which is there in our country. India remains the fastest growing economy in the world. Despite so many geopolitical problems around us, we are still growing more than 7%, and we are likely to grow more. And from 10th economy in 2014, now we are fifth largest economy in the world, and we are soon going to achieve around $5 trillion economy by 2027. This all reflects the kind of political stability that is in India, the kind of economic environment that is here, and the social factors which are also in favor of India. The technological intervention India has really brought out in the whole economic system, and the legal framework that is in India, and also how India is committing itself to the climate change efforts. All these things put together make India upcoming superpower in next few years.
Right. In how many countries is now the rupee being used? Because we also hear that one can pay at the Eiffel Tower in rupee. Could you throw some light? And of course, we also understand that once we are now internationalizing trade in rupee, we also assume that the small and medium enterprises of our country, which contribute about 48% to the country's growth, will be benefited hugely.
Currently, the countries which are using the Indian currency are more than 22. This has been there in the reports. Like we have countries like Russia, like Bangladesh, Maldives, Kazakhstan, even United Kingdom and France, and to name a few like Israel, Germany, Fiji, Myanmar, Malaysia. All these countries are using the Indian currency, and people have more trust in Indian currency. So this really proves that this will also give benefit, you rightly said, to our MSMEs, as MSMEs are the backbone of Indian economy, and we have more than 65 million MSMEs in our country, and they contribute hugely to Indian economy, to exports. So by internalization of this rupee, it would reduce India's reliance on the foreign currencies such as US dollar and others, and it will also benefit the MSMEs in terms of the cost of transactions, which will really reduce. And this would enhance India's economic sovereignty and reduce exposure to currency fluctuations. So finally, it is going to benefit large number of MSMEs in our country. And this will also help in increase the global trade, like internalization of rupee can sort of facilitate a smoother international trade by allowing various parties, by allowing various entrepreneurs to transact directly in rupee. It would also eliminate the need of currency convergence. So this directly reduces the transaction cost and simplifying the cross-border trade. So I think that it is also financial integration. This will be enhanced global financial integration in a bigger way. So, this will help rupee to get globally recognized, and it can really lead to foreign investors to invest more in India. So this overall talks very big about India's dominance and upcoming economic superpower.
Do you think that this will help Indian traders make all imports credit to Vostro accounts, that's the special rupee accounts in Indian banks, and any surplus rupee balance can be used for investments?
These are definitely going to help large number of MSMEs, large number of traders who normally face the currency problems. So this way, Indian rupee is accepted in more and more countries. So this really is very helpful for us, and it will help our trade. It will help our exports, because the way India is growing, we have to really see that our products and our people, our entrepreneurs, our MSMEs, they can easily transact globally. And if rupee is such currency which is being recognized, which is being accepted by more and more countries, even total 32 countries have really shown interest in accepting rupee. Because today, the international, all global players, global companies, they cannot ignore India. India being one of the top growing economies in the world. So therefore, we have the market. India with 1.4 billion people has a large market, because it's a consumption driven market. Therefore, anybody who makes in India, he knows that he has no dearth of no market in India. And from here, the way we are making our supply chains smooth, so therefore we are streamlining our supply chain, the way the roads and highways and also the multi-integrated, multi-modal transport system is being created in our country. So this is directly going to reduce the logistic cost, and the way the labor reforms have taken place, the way we are working on ease of doing business, all this augurs really well, and this will attract the foreign players, and they see India as a big opportunity. Therefore, I think that accepting Indian rupee will not be a problem for them. So therefore, more countries in the world, they would like to accept the Indian rupee. It's a great initiative by Reserve Bank of India. I think great initiative by our Honorable Prime Minister. I think this is really going to take India and Indian rupee to the next level.
Dr. Mehta, when we talk of internationalization of rupee as a currency, it's not just about cross-border trade. It's not just about import-export. We also have a huge Indian diaspora throughout the globe. And at least in the US, Indians pay the largest amount of remittances to their parent country, that's India, Bharat. Do you think that this system will also encourage, because now the systems will get streamlined and this will encourage ease of sending money and transactions? And as we know that India's UPI and Singapore's Pay Now were integrated recently. How do you view that?
This is going to make the things easy. This is going to make transaction costs less. And this is also going to streamline and make it easy for the people to send the money to our country. And also the fluctuation in the rupee will be less, because the acceptance of rupee will really enhance our image. As you rightly said, that our diaspora are people who are in different part of the world. I mean, they have easy access to this. So definitely it is going to help India. It is going to help our people who can send that money. And also it is going to stabilize the rupee in more countries. And let me also tell you that the way UPI transaction in India, we have really created it. Many developed countries, they have learned lesson out of it. I mean, they have missed that bus. It was the Digital India, which was launched by Prime Minister Modi in 2014, which was much ahead of the time. Because when Digital India was launched by Prime Minister Modi, people used to think that we don't have the broadband connection, we don't have the penetration to the villages. But see how that initiative has helped us during even pandemic. And this was the only country where vaccinations and all this was done seamlessly. We were totally digital. So, but there are many countries like US and all, still they were not so strong in this. I think that UPI is the one platform which has made the thing so easy. It has included so many underprivileged people, and it has formalized the economy. There is no surprise that today in any nook and corner of India, when you go, even if you don't have cash, you don't have to worry. Because even you can buy vegetable or a chai or a pan shop, everybody is using UPI. So you don't have to take cash at all. We are the most digitized country, and where digital payments are accepted in every little village also. I think this was also reflected during our G20 presidency, how people were really thoroughly impressed with this. And this success story of India is being implemented, adopted by other nations as well. I think that this global dominance of India is being seen in last decade, and it is going to go further from here. It is not going to come down. The way our economy is doing, the way our corporate sector or all other sectors they are contributing, it is further going to increase in many other countries. The internalization of the rupee is truly, truly very helpful for each and every Indian, and we are all proud of it.
Yes, you're right. In fact, we see the stabilization of the Indian rupee. It's been hovering around 82 and 83 rupees per US dollar, which is a sign of stability. Yeah. Also, as you mentioned, Brazil, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, US and EU are now exploring option to have their own UPI-like system in their own domestic markets, which is, of course, a matter of pride for all of us. Dr. Mehta, do you think that we hear when we talk of Indian economy and the ease of doing business, we often talk of RTGS and NEFT as we call it, as India's centralized payment systems in real time. Do you think that UPI as new payment architecture has evolved as a last mile connection in domestic market?
Absolutely. UPI is a success story today that everyone is talking about. It's a free platform which is being used by everyone, and how it has empowered the poorest of poor in our country, the small chaiwala, the small pan shop person, or the small person who is selling on the roadside, street side vendors, all they are carrying the UPI. So this is testament to the economic power that has been provided by UPI to the weakest section of the society. And this is also formalizing the economy. It no more remains an informal economy.
Yes.
More and more people are getting formalized. So they are being economically strong. I think that this UPI has really changed the perception of foreigners, perception of global players about India. So today, if you are in India, you don't have to worry as far as the payment system is concerned. So this UPI and domestic market, you can see that today, do you really carry cash? You don't carry cash anywhere. Even, you don't have an online banking system. Suppose then if you have a UPI, you can make payment to anywhere, everywhere.
Absolutely.
Whatever transaction you are doing, even if you buy a small 10 rupee thing, 5 rupee thing, 1 rupee thing, or 50,000 rupee. So you can easily pay by UPI. It is so simple. It's very easy to use. So if you just look at our country, I think there is no bigger power given in the hands of people than this UPI.
Absolutely.
They feel more empowered. They feel economically sound. They know that this money is going to their bank account directly. They don't have to first collect the cash, and there's a risk of being stolen.
Yes.
The cash is there. A risk of being lost by a small, suppose if any pan shop wala is there. If he is having, suppose 5,000 rupees cash in a day, so he'll always be scared. But through UPI, it is directly going to his bank account, so he's not bothered. So I think it has reduced these risks also. So therefore, I feel that it has really, really empowered the people, the common people, the small vendors who could never think of doing internet banking, but it is possible through UPI. Therefore, I think that it is a big advantage to all the people, and it is further going to strengthen them in the times to come.
Well, all I can say is Tathastu on behalf of lakhs of people tuned in. May our country rise to greater heights, and as we are aiming to become the third largest economy in the world. Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta, for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on increasing global acceptance of rupee through UPI and trade in domestic currency. The participants were Dr. Ranjeet Mehta, Economic Analyst, and Lalima Aneja Dang, Anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289094044.